What's up, everybody, and welcome to BioS. Oh, here we go, this fucking camera. BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, we do have a winner in the giveaway, which is Super Mediman. Again, he won the last one. The guy's quick to type and be the first one to get these things right. And this is kind of neat. I don't know if you guys can see this. It was 1993, the ANBC Colonial Classic, March 20th, 1993, and I was in fact 17 years old, senior in high school, and that was my first show. So, Mediman, get your information to me again, so I can get that out probably by the beginning of the week next week, because the holidays get things kind of jacked up. But so congratulations again, and I'm going to keep running through these things. I got some giveaway stuff, so no fear. I got some other cool stuff coming up, so just keep your eyes peeled as to what's coming up. And I want to talk a little bit about today sport-specific training, okay? And then specifically figure, okay? Women's figure. Now, when I first met my girlfriend Carrie, she was training with an online trainer, and he was well known for powerlifting, power training. So her routines were like deadlift, bench, squat, all the power movements, really no shaping movements, and it gave her, don't get me wrong, she got in shape, she got lean, but she didn't have an overall flowing physique. So when we met, she had a good physique to begin with, but I noticed, I said, you know what, the delts, the lats, there are things that are not developed the way they should be, and her triceps were like overdeveloped because of all the pressing and locking out she was doing. So I said, something's up. So I kind of watched her train, and when I took over her training, I said, okay, we're going to start training more to bring out that natural shape. We're going to bring up body parts that I feel that you're lacking, that the judges are saying you need to bring up, and we'll do that over, the next year. Well, that's what we did, and the first time we worked together was for the Arnold Classic 2010, and lo and behold, she had a dramatically different effect, physique-wise, than she had the year before. Now, it was fuller, a little bit heavier. Actually, she might have been a little bit lighter because she had not dieted fully down for the Pittsburgh, but everything looked different, and she got 4th place at the Arnold Classic. Had we not changed that training style and the diet to get her to where she needed to be, she wouldn't look the way she did. And once that show was over, we went on to the Lehigh, and she won the Lehigh. Hands down, easily won the Lehigh. So you see, it makes a big difference as to what you're doing as to what your results are going to be. And now I bring this up because there's a woman on YouTube, and I don't want to say her name because YouTube partners can get in trouble for saying the other one's name, yada yada yada, whatever. But she competed this weekend, and the girl that beat her, there's only like 3 people in the class. The girl that beat her has a similar physique to my girlfriend Carrie, except Carrie's leaner. Now I might want to throw in there, Carrie is 100% lifetime drug-free. No clenbuterol, no thyroid, none of that stuff, nothing, okay? So it takes her a lot longer to gain muscle, and a lot longer. Her diets are typically 20 weeks to get in shape. Contest shape. And it was a glaring difference because this woman who has this vlog or YouTube channel or whatever, when she stood there, she thinks in her head that she needs to be leaner through her midsection. That was her quote. I need to be leaner through my midsection. And as I'm looking at her physique next to this other girl, if we took both of their silhouettes and did away with all the muscularity, and you put silhouette next to silhouette, she doesn't have that kind of shape right now. And that is specifically because she is new to the sport, but her trainers are powerlifters. They're training her like a powerlifter. So it gives her more of a blocky look. She does not have that nice taper from the shoulders to the waist. It's not there yet. Her delts don't pop. There's a reason why. She's not doing that shape training. She's doing that power training. And, 3 weeks out, she was doing like 4 or 5 reps on a bench press or something like that. Well, if your chest is already developed, more than likely you don't need to be bench pressing 4 to 5 reps. Because it appears to me like she has enough mass to compete in the figure division, but she needs that polish and that shape, and that is not going to happen. I don't care what anybody says. I've seen it time and time again. It is not going to happen if you're training like a powerlifter. That's another sport. Johnny Jackson, Stan Efferding, who's the other guy? Ben White. Okay, these guys were powerlifters. They had to completely change their training and their diets to get that bodybuilder look. Johnny Jackson now doesn't do maximum bench presses. You see him bench, he benches like 10 to 15 reps to failure with Branch Warren like animals. And he's got that full, round, thick muscle. Now you notice a few years ago, before he started training with Branch, You didn't have that look. So it's very important to train for the sport that you are trying to do and not try to blend them together. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I like to blend this with this. Well, what are you trying to do? Are you in the gym working out? You just like to work out? That's fine. Do whatever you want to do. Knock yourself out. But if you're looking for a specific look or for a specific effect, you have to train for it. And again, that's where we're coming up with these frequency things, and people are like, well, this guy says this, guy says that. Think about it. Why, if you were a race car driver, would you spend most of your time shooting free throws on the basketball court? You're not a basketball player. You're a race car driver. The Bulgarians had this term, the body becomes its function, which means the more you do something, the better it gets at that. So you may be, wind up bench pressing and squatting and deadlifting a whole lot more and be like, yeah, I got a PR. But if you go on stage and get your ass handed to you, what difference does it make? And then all you have to, I hear the excuses. Well, this didn't work, that didn't work, this didn't work. Well, I had some stomach problems because we loaded a food that I hadn't had in 16 weeks. I did that myself in 2007. I was listening to a coach where I hadn't eaten a sweet potato in 16 weeks, and he decided to load me up with sweet potatoes because of the glycemic index and all this other bullshit. And my stomach bloated, my body bloated. I took a diuretic, which is called aldactone, which doesn't allow reuptake of sodium or water, and it completely fucked my physique up to 24 hours. And at that point, I stopped working with coaches. I worked with myself. I didn't work with myself. I took it over myself. And in 2 weeks, I went up a weight class and now was qualifying for nationals as a heavyweight as opposed to being a flat, watery, shitty, light heavyweight 2 weeks before. I listened to what my body told me and did what instinctively I knew to do. So be aware, guys. There's no one way to do things, but you will not get to your ultimate goal if you're training for something else. It's just not going to happen. Now, you can spend all the time doing it. That's fine. You can say I'm wrong. Go ahead and bust your balls. Go ahead and put the time into the gym. Work your ass off. But the bottom line is, I've already done that. I've already wasted time. I've already fucked up, and I'm trying to keep you guys from doing the same thing. Very simple. I screwed up. I learned not to do it. I learned what to do. I pass it on to you guys. That's how it works. BioStreetTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below. www.biostreettraining.com is the blog, and we're out.